I'm Dr. Jonathan Peri, President of Manor College, and I'm here today sharing with you about the value of higher education. So in our first slide, I want to talk about median income levels by educational level. So in the first slide, you can see on the bottom there, a person with no high school diploma has a median income level of between $30,000 and $31,000. Whereas a person with a bachelor's degree or higher, their median income level is between $112,000 and $115,000. That's a very significant difference. And then across the way, you have high school with no college and then some college, and there's different levels of incomes based upon each of these, but the best of them is if you have a bachelor's degree. In our second slide, it's very similar. It's median yearly full-time earnings. So a high school diploma with no college, the person's earning $46,000 and change, whereas the bachelor's level, $76,000 and change. And then of course, if you get graduate school to add on to that, you can just keep making more money based upon each degree level that you earn. Our third slide is median annual wage for recent graduates. So this is the slide that shows you what are you going to make when you first get out of school or first get out of high school. So if you're out of high school and you have a diploma and you're just starting your job, your income level, your average annual salary is about $36,000. But if you have a bachelor's degree, you're going to be earning $60,000 or more. So our next slide is average real wealth by education, okay? So this is something different than sort of your monthly or yearly income. This is a slide that's about how much do you have to your name? How much are all the things you have, all of your assets to your name in your whole life? And you can see on the far right, a person, the average person in America who has no high school diploma, everything that they own in their whole life, on average, is about $166,000, right? If you have a high school diploma, you're not quite quadrupling that, but it's significantly more. But then you have to look at what it is on the far left side there. When you have a high school degree, you're looking at almost $2 million in assets. So this is a no-brainer for telling you that you have to go to college. Next slide. Assets by education level. So it's hard to see all these different little marked areas, but these are the things that you might own or not own depending upon your education level, right? So let's start with college on the far left because that's the easiest to see, right? You could own real estate, consumer durable goods. These are the things you sort of buy every day to keep yourselves going. Corporate equities and mutual fund shares, so that's if you have investments in the stock market. Defined benefit pension entitlements, that's if you have a retirement plan. Defined contribution pension entitlements, again, more retirement plan. And then the green on next to the bottom is private businesses, and then other assets is that sort of gray area. So look at how all those things are stacked on the left side. If you have a college education, you may own some or all of these things, and that's going to be what your assets look like. But if you look on the far right, no high school diploma, you may have almost none of those. If you have a high school diploma, you may have some of them, but not anywhere near as much as you would if you have a college degree. So you're going to want to get a college degree. In the next slide, it's earnings and unemployment rates by educational attainment, okay? So look at the left and look at the right. These are the things that we're going to distinguish. Let's start with the bottom, okay? If you have less than a high school diploma, your median usual weekly earnings, how much you earn in a week, is $626. If you look on the right, it says 8.3% unemployment rate. So what that means is that you're going to earn the least on the left, and you're going to be the most unemployed in our world. But if you go all the way to the top, right, if you have a doctoral degree, you're going to earn the most, and you will be the least unemployed, right? If you go to the bachelor's degree, which is just getting through college, you're not in the middle, you're in the top middle, all right? So you're earning $1,334 a week, and your unemployment rate is only 3.5%. Another reason to go to college. And then finally, for the charts, this chart is called Education Pays Off Literally. And on the left side at the bottom, you can see if you're 22 years old, and on the right side is if you're 36 years old, right? And you can see these different levels of what the line chart looks like. So if you have no high school and you're 22 years old, you might be making around $22,000 a year. By the time you're 36, look at where that line is. It's in the same spot. It's not a lot of money to be making because you have no high school diploma. If you have a high school diploma, okay, maybe you're making $45,000, $50,000 a year. That's something. But if you have a bachelor's degree, you're all the way up at $100,000 a year by the time you're 36 years old. And if you have a graduate degree, like a master's degree or a doctor's degree, then you're going to be at $130,000 a year on average. So there is every reason to go to college. So let me tell you about the college where I work, Manor College. We are the best priced private institution in the Philadelphia region. We offer 30 associate's, bachelor's, and certificate programs. Our students have very low debt. 94% of our students are getting financial aid. Now the national average is far less than that. We maintain a 12-to-1 student-teacher ratio, so you're getting right in there with the faculty members and able to learn because you have one-to-one connections with them. We are among the safest institutions in the country. StateUniversity.com has ranked us that way. The United States Department of Education and the New York Times have both said that we are among the best in the country for intergenerational mobility. Now, what this means is that the economic place where you are with your family right now is not where you're going to be after you graduate and have a job and move from whatever age you start here at, whether it's 18, 19, 22, 26. By the time you get out to 35, 40 years old, your income is going to be significantly different than what it is today. And that's only 2 institutions in the Philadelphia area got this recognition by the United States Department of Education, and we're one of them. We're also a majority of first generation and ethnically and racially diverse students, and we were founded by Ukrainian religious sisters. And we have a program called the You Belong Here Advantage program. And it's a program where you get lots of things to help you along the way, like free books while you're in college, they're included with tuition, a computer, and many other things. So just important to be able to share all those things with you. No matter where you are in your life, you have to be targeting college as a goal because of all the financial reasons. But there's other reasons too. You belong here at Manor College, and when we say that, we really mean it because we create an environment for you to learn and succeed.